So opportunity zones are actually something that, while they primarily were coming into people's mindset when the Tax Cut and Jobs Act was passed, they were out there for probably 2 or 3 years before that. The concept is that there's an awful lot of money on the sidelines that, because of tax consequences, people have not put to good use. They've not invested. And part of the idea from some folks in the economic development community was that in the wake of the recession, as long ago as it seems like it was, a lot of communities have not yet recovered. And so the idea was to deal with the fact that we have money on the sidelines and a lot of communities that haven't recovered, try and marry those two ideas together. And that's when the opportunity zone idea was born. Probably back in late 2014, early 2015, through a group called the Economic Innovation Group. And they were supported actually by Sean Parker from Napster and Facebook fame. And I think his appreciation for the fact that it was, I don't want to say easy, but in his situation, he accumulated massive wealth and felt like there was a need to give back. And I think he parlayed that, with the help of the Economic Innovation Group that he helped form, into this concept of opportunity zones, designating geography that had been left behind, but that was part of a bigger economic development opportunity in particular locales, states in this case, and motivating people to essentially put dollars to use that were otherwise sitting on the sidelines. And the way to put them to use was to basically liquidate positions in investments that would give rise to capital gain, and you would get a deferral and the potential to avoid additional tax consequences if you're willing to invest in these particular communities. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act, a lot of aspects of it were done very last minute, very hurried, without a lot of sort of light of day, a lot of people commenting on them. This was very purposefully light on regulation. It's a very brief statute. And the theory was people will love a regulation light, brief statute. Well, the reality is that's not what people like. The people, investors and other potential practitioners, stakeholders, had tons of questions. So as a result of that, we've gone through this massive exercise over really almost 2 years since the act was passed to figure out what every word means, how to parse every piece of it, how to get support in the form of regulation from the government. And as a result, we're in this place where people want more information rather than less. They want more regulation rather than less. And at the same time, we're dealing with a situation where, in the midst of regulating something, we're also trying to transact it. And so I think it's created a lot of confusion and, more than anything, a lot of concern. I think one of the things that's important about this is that everybody doesn't view this favorably. There are a lot of people in communities living there today for whom there was supposed to be a benefit of all this investment that are very concerned at this early stage that that benefit may inure to a bunch of wealthy investors and not them. And that, to me, is a huge issue to focus on, because for this to be successful, long-term, something sustainable, we've got to bridge that divide.